Welcome to Braintree Today. I'm Sarah Hamilton. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following. Several firefighters were injured after battling a 3-alarm fire in Braintree, and a longtime coach is stepping away after more than 2 decades. Also ahead, an investigation is underway after police found a body behind a Star Market in Quincy, and thousands of nurses went on strike in Boston amid ongoing contract negotiations. Plus, more local stories from around the South Shore and Massachusetts. Firefighters responded to a 3-alarm fire at a home in East Braintree last Saturday. Officials say crews were called to North Bowditch Street just after 10 p.m. and found heavy fire coming from the 2-story home. Firefighters initially entered the house but were forced to evacuate due to intense heat and flames. As they exited, crews heard a dog trapped inside and were able to rescue it safely. Residents were able to get out of the home before fire crews arrived, and no injuries were reported among them. Several firefighters were treated for heat-related injuries, including 2 who were taken to the hospital. The fire spread to a vehicle in the driveway and caused significant damage to a neighboring home. Officials say the original home is a total loss, and nearby residents have been displaced. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. The Braintree Town Council held a meeting on Tuesday, July 7th at Town Hall, where Mayor Aaron Joyce appointed Robert J. Kilroy Jr. as Braintree's new police chief. Here's more from Mayor Joyce and Chief Kilroy.
Good evening, President Morin and Council. Thank you so much for the chance to be before you this evening to support an appointment of Robert J. Kilroy Jr. to Chief of Police for the Braintree Police Department. I also want to recognize that many members of our department are here, and as always, very thankful for their service and appreciate that they're here tonight during this important meeting. Mr. Kilroy currently serves as Deputy Chief of Police in Walpole, a role he has been in for the last 4 years, and will be bringing to Braintree 26 years of professional municipal law enforcement experience in Massachusetts. His career with the town of Walpole began in 2009 as a police officer, and since then, he has steadily advanced through the ranks, holding various positions, including sergeant and lieutenant, before reaching his current executive role as deputy chief. I also want to note that prior to his tenure in Walpole, he served as a police officer for the towns of Franklin and North Attleboro. He was also a member of the Massachusetts Army National Guard. In addition to his practical experience, he holds a master's degree in criminal justice from the University of Massachusetts Lowell and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Newbury College. That being said, I do want to note that if the council were to move forward on this appointment tonight, I do want to just note that we would, to kind of address that issue, perform an additional third-party background check, a non-municipal law enforcement background check. That would be a condition of the appointment to pass that tonight. So we are requesting that as part of this vote tonight. But I want to offer the council an opportunity to talk to Mr. Kilroy and ask any questions of my office and the process as you work through your deliberations this evening. So thank you.
So I've been a police officer for over 26 years now. I began my career in North Attleboro in 1999. About 8.5 years into that, I was presented with the opportunity to transfer over to the Franklin Police Department to continue my career. Unfortunately, I transferred in 2008, and shortly thereafter, the financial crisis of 2008 struck, and I found myself at as the junior officer, unfortunately, on the list. I was about to be laid off due to financial reasons. Fortunately for me, the chief in Franklin, chief in Walpole were friends. They knew that the other department needed personnel bodies, so the 2 chiefs worked it out. I was able to transfer over to Walpole, where I became a patrolman over there. I worked patrol for many years before finally moving over into the detective unit to begin investigations. I was there for another approximately 5 years before I was finally promoted to sergeant. When I became sergeant, I took over as a detective unit commander, and in addition to that, I was running patrol shifts. So as a supervisor, as a sergeant, I was running patrol I was running the detective unit and on occasion patrol shifts. During my time as the detective sergeant, I was also the property and evidence custodian. We implemented new systems in place to properly track and monitor the evidence and property that we had in our custody. I was then shortly I was the detective sergeant for several years before I was presented the opportunity to promote to lieutenant. Upon promoting to lieutenant, I then took over again as the patrol operations, the patrol commander. In that role, I was also identified as a training supervisor. I became the liaison to Gillette Stadium, the MPTC Training Academy, and I was able to participate in a number of advanced trainings to include the FBI Leader Trilogy training, the MPTC Executive Development training, so on and so forth, and to include public relations and media, stuff like that. As the patrol commander, like I said, I was involved in all aspects of the department. I was the patrol commander for several years before I was finally promoted to the rank of deputy chief, where I currently serve as the executive officer. I currently oversee a department of approximately 60 sworn and civilian members, to include patrol sworn members and a communication staff. I oversee basically the day-to-day operations. I'm currently the hiring and promotional manager. I'm the investigative division commander, and I am in charge of the internal affairs division. I've been in that role for about the last 4 years now, conducting basic executive level leadership decisions.
To watch the final vote and the conclusion of the Town Council meeting, tune into BCAM TV Government Channel, Channel 8 on Comcast, and Channel 26 on Verizon, and check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/BCAMTV. A longtime coach is stepping away from Braintree High School girls hockey team after more than 2 decades. Kevin Burchell has announced his retirement after spending more than 25 years with the program, including leaving the team since its early years. During his tenure, Burchell led the Womps to multiple deep playoff runs and became a staple of the program and community. He will be succeeded by one of his former stars, Amanda Abramson, a 2011 graduate and former all-time leading scorer for the team. Abramson says taking over the program is a full circle moment and that she hopes to continue the culture and success built over the years. Burchell says he's confident the program is in good hands as he steps away. Braintree marked America's 250th anniversary with a special event over the holiday weekend. The Braintree Bicentennial Time Capsule Society hosted a time capsule inspection ceremony at Town Hall, followed by a wreath-laying honoring John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. The event also featured historical reenactments and a display of Braintree's original handwritten copy of the Declaration of Independence. Here's a look.
She is in the company of a gentleman in the recreated Company D of the Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry. 2 other members of Company D will present arms in honor of all of the men whose names are on the monument and all who died for union and freedom in the Civil War. If those men could please come forward with the flag of our nation and present arms in the manner of a Civil War soldier in honor of all of those who died for our country between 1861 and 1865. And if all of you could please stand in honor of all of those men from Braintree and all over our country who gave their lives to save our country. We have a moment of silence, and that is very appropriate. But let us, too, give our heartfelt thanks and an applause for all that they did. And there were thousands who volunteered. They didn't have to go, but they went. They served. They died. Many survived. The country that they fought for survived. And we, who applaud them today, are living in freedom because of what they did in our country 150 years ago. Please join me in applauding all that they did.
Let me give you a little bit of a history of the Braintree Time Capsule. Back in 1975, the town and country was gearing up for the bicentennial, 200 years of America's freedom and democracy. My father, Mel Miller, wanted to do something for the bicentennial that would last until the tricentennial. This would also ensure that there is some sort of a ceremony in the town of Braintree on the 4th of July. Hence the time capsule idea. It would be buried in 1976 and uncovered in 2076. He wanted to preserve our town's perspective and items from 1976. He found the help of collecting these items through a Miss Nancy Nicosia. She collected newspapers, restaurant menus, gas prices, pictures of all the school children, letters of all the school children, letters from town residents and their grandchildren. These are all for the residents and the future of our town in 2076.
To watch the rest of the time capsule inspection ceremony, tune into BCAM TV public channels, channel 2128 on Verizon and channel 1073 on Comcast, and check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/bcamtv. A community event in Braintree is aiming to honor loved ones and raise awareness about overdose. The Braintree Community Partnership is inviting residents to create personalized memorial lanterns in recognition of International Overdose Awareness Day. The lanterns will be carried during a community walk on August 27th at Pond Meadow Park. Organizers say no art experience is needed and all supplies will be provided. Those interested in attending a workshop are asked to RSVP online at thesunwillrise.org/events-activities. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more local stories, but first, here's a look at events happening this month at the Braintree Senior Center located at 71 Cleveland Avenue. The Braintree Senior Center has a full lineup of activities this July for residents age 60 and older. From weekly social programs to special events and presentations, there are plenty of opportunities to stay active and connected. The center also offers a variety of weekly activities. Fitness classes are available daily. On Mondays, residents can enjoy bocce at 10, the walking group at 10:30, men's coffee hour at 11, and pool players at noon. Tuesdays feature games day from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Wednesdays, Asian Outreach meets at 11, followed by GEMS exercise at 1. Thursdays include photography at 10, quilting at 11:30, pool lessons at 12:30, and knitting at 1. And on Fridays, pool players meet at noon and movies are shown at 1 p.m. Several special events are also scheduled throughout the month. Upcoming events include Bingo on July 1st and 15th, and Cornhole League on July 6th and 20th. Residents can also attend a watercolor painting craft on July 13th and a book club meeting on July 17th. Later in the month, events include a presentation on artificial intelligence on July 23rd, a spa day on July 24th, and the Just Lunch program and writing workshop on July 29th. The month wraps up with the Norfolk Sheriff's presentation on July 30th, along with weekly dinner programs held throughout the month. For more information or to sign up, residents are encouraged to contact the Braintree Senior Center directly. The center is located at 71 Cleveland Avenue in Braintree and can be reached by phone at 781-848-1963. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Here are some of the top stories from across the South Shore and Massachusetts. Quincy police are investigating after a woman was found dead in Quincy Center. Authorities say the body of a woman in her 30s was discovered Monday night near School and Fort Streets, behind a Star Market. Officials say there were no obvious signs of trauma, and the body has been taken to the state medical examiner's office to determine the cause of death. Her name has not been released as investigators work to notify next of kin. Quincy police and state police detectives are continuing to investigate the incident. Two brothers are facing charges after police say they attacked a homeless man in Holbrook last month. Authorities identified the suspects as 32-year-old Jesse Baxter and 28-year-old Jake Baxter, both of Holbrook. Police say the incident happened overnight on June 20th in the Brookville Park area, where the victim, who is over the age of 60, was sleeping in a tent. The man was found with serious injuries and was taken to a Boston hospital for treatment. Investigators say the attack may have been a case of mistaken identity. Both men, who work for the town's Department of Public Works, have been placed on paid administrative leave. They are expected to be arraigned in Quincy District Court on July 9th. Thousands of nurses at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston went on strike Wednesday amid ongoing contract negotiations. The one-day walkout involved about 4,000 nurses, with disagreements over pay, benefits, and working conditions still unresolved. Hospital officials brought in temporary nurses to maintain patient care, and most services continued as scheduled, though some appointments were affected. Meanwhile, hundreds of Mass General Brigham home care workers also took part in the strike, including picketing in Braintree. State and local leaders urged both sides to return to the negotiating table and reach an agreement. Talks are expected to continue. A black bear has been spotted in multiple South Shore communities in recent days. Sightings have been reported in Stoughton, Avon, Holbrook, Randolph, and Canton, where residents say the animal was seen running through yards and neighborhoods. Officials say it's unclear if all the sightings involve the same bear, but believe it may be moving through the area in search of food. Police say the bear does not appear to be aggressive, but are urging residents to stay alert and not approach it. Wildlife experts advise keeping a safe distance, bringing pets inside, and slowly backing away if you encounter the animal. No injuries have been reported. The tall ships are set to return to Boston Harbor this month as part of a major celebration marking America's 250th anniversary. The Sail Boston Festival will run from July 11th through the 16th, featuring more than 50 tall and military ships from around the world. The event will kick off with a parade of sail on Saturday, July 11th, as ships enter Boston Harbor and dock along the city's waterfront. Visitors will have the chance to board many of the ships for free throughout the festival. Organizers say the 5-day event will also include fireworks, live entertainment, and a variety of family-friendly activities. The ships are scheduled to depart the morning of July 16th. For a full schedule of events with times and locations, visit the Sail Boston website at sailboston.com. Thank you for tuning in to Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more stories worth knowing, plus this week's entertainment picks. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Before we get to this week's entertainment picks, here are a few stories worth knowing. The city of Boston is taking legal action against major social media companies. The city has filed a lawsuit against companies including Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube, claiming their platforms are contributing to a youth mental health crisis. Officials allege the companies use addictive features like endless scrolling and targeted content to keep young users engaged. The lawsuit seeks changes to those practices and financial support to help schools address student mental health needs. In another story worth knowing, a familiar New England grocery store is getting national recognition. Market Basket has been named the best private consumer products company to work for by U.S. News and World Report. The Tewksbury-based chain topped a list of nearly 1,100 companies, with officials crediting a strong focus on employee satisfaction. And one more thing, if you're looking for something to do in Braintree, the Nelson Chin Summer Concert Series is back for the season. Every Tuesday night, your favorite local bands will be playing live at the gazebo located at Sunset Lake. If you can't make it to a show and want to watch, check out BCAM TV for coverage. Now let's take a look at some of the movies and shows people are talking about this week. First, The Invite follows Joe and Angela, whose marriage is on thin ice. Their tension escalates when Angela invites their mysterious upstairs neighbors, Pina and Hawk, down for a dinner party that ends in an unexpected and shocking proposition. The film stars Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen. You can watch The Invite now in theaters. Up next, Evil Dead Burn follows a grieving widow named Alice who seeks solace with her in-laws in a secluded winter home. The gathering quickly turns into a nightmare as they transform into deadites one by one, forcing her to discover that the vows she took in life persist in death. The film stars Lucienne Buchanan and Hunter Doohan. You can watch Evil Dead Burn now in theaters. Finally, Moana follows a young voyager who answers the ocean's call and leaves her island for the first time. She journeys beyond the reef alongside the infamous demigod Maui on an epic quest to restore prosperity to her people. The film stars Catherine Legaya and Dwayne Johnson. You can watch Moana now in theaters. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Don't forget you can watch us on Verizon in HD on channel 2128 and Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Sarah Hamilton, and we'll see you next time.